Okay, so after you sign into Squarespace, you're going to see the pages, design, commerce, etc. listed on the left. You want to click on pages. It's going to take us to the main navigation. We want to click on news. Then we want to click on the little plus sign that's up on that left column. That's going to start us with a new article. Then we're going to want to click on the author name so we can change that to yours if it's not set at yours already. So you scroll down to author, click on Stephen J. Pike. Then we want to click on save in the upper left. So everything should switch over then to your information as the contributor. Then we want to click on the title area. I'm just going to copy and paste over the title of my sample here. And you could keystroke it in as well. Okay, so then we want to copy over our quote. We've typically been including one, so we're going to just copy and paste that into the text box that's there. And then we're going to go to find, if you roll over this, there should be a little plus sign that we should be able to find. There we go. So if we click that, then we can add a text box where we can copy over some more of our article. And you just copy and paste that. Now I think I want to change this so we don't need it bold and italicized, so we can unitalicize and unbold that. Okay. Now on the other articles, we've added in a little line to kind of separate the quote from the article. So we can go ahead and find that little plus mark. Sometimes you got to roll over it a little bit. There we go. And we're going to add in a line, and we can do it to the top there too. Okay, so then we've got our quote separated. We can also change the alignment. We can center it, or we can right or left justify it, however you prefer. Okay, so then say we want to add in a photo to our article or an image. We want to click on the plus sign. We want to go up and click image. Now we should be able to click the plus sign to add an image. My cursor doesn't want to work here. There we go. Or we can select from the library. I'm just going to select from the library an image that we have in there already. You could upload one from your computer as well. Now we want to check that the file name and the image alt text is correct, because that will help your SEO. If the file name is something that reflects what your image is. So it looks like we have that in there already. Now your image text, sometimes I just put in Stephen Pike Performance Diamonds. That pretty much describes it. Even though it's the name of our file, it's okay. Okay, so that's in there. Now we want to probably go back and add in some text for our subhead for our next section. And you'll see when you go up to heading, you'll see that there are different options that are kind of preset for the template so that the branding remains consistent throughout your website. So these are obviously large, but it gives you an idea of the different options there are. So I'm just going to leave this bold and a little bit bigger than the body copy. I'm going to add in another text box. And this time I'm going to make it just a little bit different as the call out. So I'm going to copy this over. And sometimes call outs you could put in a different color. I think that works well. It's the simplest way. So then for the sake of the purpose of this video, I'm going to go ahead now and we're going to add in that last paragraph of copy. So we're going to add another text box. that last paragraph that we typically put on, I'm going to add in a subhead to it. So you could change this to say, instead of subhead, it could say like contact or, some sort of call to action there. So I'm going to add the text box. But it seems like on the end of all of our articles, we typically have a little recap of how they can reach you with the links. So we're going to copy this over, and I'll show you how to link the different elements. Okay, so I'm going to change this to be, we don't need that bold. We can unbold that, unitalicize. Now, say they wanted to, if you want them to be able to click to call you, we can link your phone number. So we take that phone number, we're going to copy it, and then, you can always keystroke everything too. So we're going to click the link symbol. It looks like we have that in there, but hit this little wheel icon. That gets us to our settings. We're going to click on phone, and we're going to go ahead and copy in the phone number there. And then when it says tel, T-E-L, that means that they'll be able to call you when that is clicked. If we change it to SMS, they will, when they click your phone number on the website, it would prompt them to message you. So I left that as call. So we always want to click apply at the end and make sure that it takes effect. All right, and I think I'm going to double check this just because sometimes it copies over links, sometimes it doesn't, so I always recheck them. So go ahead and click settings. It looks like it did. And we've got the email tab too, looks correct. We're gonna not change a thing there, so we're gonna close out of here. And we don't have to click apply because it's already in action. So that should get most of the elements that you need on the page. And we can go up and we can save. Now, saving does not publish it. So I'm going to show you. We can exit out of here. It'll show up as a draft over in our left column in case you want to come back to it. If you're not ready to publish it yet. If we click on the three dots, that brings us to settings where we can add an image, which when somebody goes to your news page, usually we've had an image showing up next to your article. So this is the image that would show up. So you can either upload a file, or I'm just going to go ahead and go to search for images. That's going to bring us into your library of images that's already uploaded to your website. I'm just going to click one there. The excerpt, we can put just a short recap. That'll show up on the news page where it lists all our articles. So I would just put a quick little overview of what your article is referring to. And then it looks like everything else is fine. We're going to click save out of there. And then when we're ready to publish, you would go back to settings. If everything looks correct, I think we kind of covered a little bit of everything in this really quickly. I apologize, I'm going so fast, so hopefully you can hit pause and play. Okay, so we go back to settings. Then we go to options. Options, we're going to go to draft, and this is where we can publish or schedule it for a certain date. I'm just going to go ahead and publish to show you what this is going to look like. Then we save. And this is, you don't have to do anything with this. It's just prompting you to copy a link to that page to share, which you could definitely do. So now, if we go back to our pages and go click on news, this is our news page. When somebody clicks on that tab, this is what they're going to see. I mean, obviously that image did not cropped correctly because I didn't have it specifically sized for this usage. But so this is where the overview of the article would show up and everything. Then we click on it and everything should be there. So you can preview it that way. So let's say that we want to delete it. You could do that there as well. Or if we wanted to unpublish it, we could go back to options and we could, switch it back to draft and then save out of there. And now it would not show up to the public. So if we go back to news, we can see how this page is looking. Because that's back in draft, it's off of our news page. And that's it. That's how we can add in a new article. Hopefully you're able to follow this and we can get some more detailed instructions for you as you kind of get the hang of it. I think this is just the very basics of what we want to get accomplished. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out or give me a call. Thanks.